Alright, we're live. Gonna make this small. Dark mode. What? Oh, what? What? No. That's not go here. I do not want to do that. What? Why did it rename the stream to something else? That's not what the name of the stream is. The name of this stream is, what's it called? Casual Capture 1. I'm such a genius. Amphitheatre time. I'm back. All right. I don't think I'll be posting this to the Camsys Facebook group because this is not Camsys. Unfortunately, I have deviated, and this is not Camsys. Camsys has actually gone by the wayside a little bit. Well, not really, but the Camsys live streams have because I am now on the MQ500. Thank the Lord. Oh my God, it's amazing. I do have some issues with it, but you know, this is actually, I think this is the first live stream I've made since I've been here. Oh man, I've got so much stuff to tell everyone. Oh boy. Yeah, I think it is. I don't know how to check, but one thing to note before this whole thing gets started, this is not really the ideal streaming situation. I do have a Stream Deck XL here, but I can't plug it into my laptop because I only have 2 USB ports on my laptop. One of them right now is for my mouse, and one of them is for this new Yeti microphone that I'm using for the first time. Let's not clip the audio here. I don't have a cover for the Yeti yet, so sorry for all the, I don't know what you call it, the smacking of lips. I don't have a or what's it called? A pop mic or pop filter or whatever. I don't have that yet for it, so yeah. But it sounds better. There's a little microphone headphone preamp in it, which is great. Hopefully the sound quality sounds a bit better. I also do not have unfortunately for me, but fortunately for the live stream, I do not have my mechanical keyboard. So you won't hear any clicking. You might hear the softness of my laptop keyboard, but you won't hear the super loud clickies of my Razer. One thing is, I don't have internet in my apartment right now, so I just moved to Qatar, as some of you might know, which is crazy. You know, it's very crazy. I've gone from doing shows, from super small shows with a PC wing and my laptop in a pub with 14 lights that are 20 years old, to moving across the world to the other side of the world, in the Middle East, to do shows with hundreds of moving lights on the MQ500 plus the stadium wing, and I no longer use my laptop anymore because I now have a Surface Studio 2, which is a massive touchscreen, 4K touchscreen from Microsoft. It has a 1070, a GTX 1070. I would have liked a 1080 or a 2080, but it was already super expensive, so it was like $4,000, I think. But yeah, it's an all-in-one. It's a very fantastic, I really like it. It does struggle a few times when you're rendering like 200, 300 lights, but you know, that's to be expected when you're running a show with 200 to 300 lights. But you know, other than that, it's fantastic. I do want to use it for Pangolin and stuff like that, and I have tried to use it as an external touchscreen for Camsys, but that's kind of buggy right now. It's kind of buggy, so I don't really, and I already have 3 touchscreens. Thank God. I never thought I'd be saying that ever. but I already have 3 touchscreens because I have the MQ500, which I also never thought I'd ever be saying that. At least not a year like a year ago. I had never thought I'd be on it, but here I am. I'm on the 500, and that's my daily one. That's my daily console now. So I barely do any PC Camsys on PC programming now. Part of that is because I was an idiot, and I broke my laptop monitor, my screen, for the second time. The first time was not, I didn't break it, it just broke on its own, which I know is just like, oh, it was like that when I got here. But it actually did break on its own, which was kind of unfortunate because it broke a few hours before I was supposed to do a show with it, and it just cracked. The touchscreen cracked, and so I couldn't use the touchscreen. I had to disable it because it was going crazy all the time. So I disabled it, and like the monitor worked fine as a monitor, but the touchscreen didn't work, which is, as most of you know, kind of essential for doing lighting. So instead, and well, I mean, it's not essential for some people, but for me it is essential. So to my show file. So instead, I used a mouse to click around, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like a metal show where you're like making changes every microsecond or anything like that. But it was still a painful experience, to say the least. But yeah, now I'm on the 500. It's fantastic. I'm hoping to do a review of that eventually, and because that's one thing I've noticed is there's never really any like reviews on consoles on YouTube. So I kind of want to start doing that if I have the time, which is a big thing right now. I do not have any time right now. This rig that I'm working on right now, we're loading it tomorrow, and I'm still making the capture file for it. Like, we've done this show every year. It's a yearly show, and I cannot say, unfortunately, I can't say what it is. I can't say where the venue is or what the show is, but I can say the rig specs and stuff like that. So as you can see, it's an amphitheater, which is, whatever. I've never lit an amphitheater, but it doesn't exactly make it hard. Or, I mean, it does, but, it's not, it is hard to light, but it's not like you don't exactly have that many options to light it. So, yeah, the reason it's taking so long, sorry, I'm going to cough a lot, and I'm sorry for the background noise. I'm in my apartment right now on a coffee table because I do not have a proper table or chair. So I'm sitting on my couch, and I have this coffee table like all the way up to my knees. And the coffee table is actually lower than my knees, so I'm like hunched over. So if I don't move, if I don't do stuff very quickly, that's probably why. Because it's a pain in the ass to work like this. But yes, so this time I have broken my my monitor, and this was my fault. The first time it wasn't my fault, at least I don't think so. I think it just broke on its own because the hinge design on this Lenovo isn't the best idea anyone ever had, but it's worked fine, and I think I'm gonna upgrade to a Razer laptop eventually, because now I've got that sweet money I'm getting paid. I'm a full-time worker now, which is great. But I'm gonna get like a Razer Blade Pro or something. But anyways, this time I got the touchscreen fixed, and they fixed in Toronto, and I got it fixed, and it was fixed, and I was like, oh great, perfect, right in time for when I move to on the other side of the world, where I have to kind of use the touchscreen a lot. And so one thing I noticed was the touchscreen over time. The touchscreen, I kind of noticed that it was a little bit, it wasn't perfectly fitted inside the frame on the top. So the genius that I am, I tried to open it and fix it, and I ended up breaking it far worse than I had before, and now it just doesn't, it turns on, but it is messed up, man. It is really bad. So I'm on an external monitor right now because whenever I turn on the laptop monitor, it whines, like it makes this high-pitched noise, which is not ideal for a laptop. But yeah, so that's that. And again, I'm sorry for all the background noise and stuff. This isn't the most ideal live streaming situation. I'm also not running off of a router. I'm running off of a broadband, which is not ideal either for Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi here is terrible in this country. It's really not great. Like I'm used to at least 50 down and 20 up. I think I got 30 down and 10 up or 5 up earlier. So like, especially for streaming, 5-up isn't great. So we'll see what happens with that. Oh boy, whoa. All right, well, so yes, here is the thing. Luckily now I'm kind of in the European time zone, which is I think where most of my viewers are. And I say viewers not liberally, because I don't have viewers. At least I have, I think, like 5. And I love you guys, the 5 who do watch and comment and stuff. I did post an update like a few months ago, I think in September, just kind of stating my situation. So now I get to verbally say that situation. I will get to working soon, because I do need to finish this plot and address all the lights. Because, again, like I said, we're loading in tomorrow. But, yeah, it's very hot here. I'm sure people are going to ask that anyways. It's very hot. But right now it's actually fine. I'll check right now. It's 29 degrees. In most other parts of the world, it's pretty cold right now. But, 29 degrees here is that's pretty nice. That's a good temperature here. Normally, when I got here, it was like 40, 45 degrees daily, which is, not fun. But luckily, everything here is air conditioned, which is what you can hear in the background. That background noise, that is the air conditioner. And you kind of have to, everywhere is air conditioned here. Everywhere. Like, even there's some places where they have outdoor air conditioning where it like comes through the floor. Those places are very rich, and I'm just gonna stretch because, like I said, I'm on a couch and I have to stretch all the time because I'm 20 years old and my back hurts. It's not supposed to, right? It's not supposed to. Anyways, to the rig. Actually, first, before I get to the rig, all the Camsys stuff, because that's where the majority of the viewers here are from, is Camsys. Okay, whew, here we go. Here we go for all the Camsys info I've got, or all the Camsys toys I've got. I've got the MQ500, the MQ Stadium 500 Stadium wing, fantastic wing. One trick that I found, I saw this once, and it was on Camsys's their Instagram, I think. They posted an article about Skanksy, I think, he was the LD for Game of Thrones, and he used Camsys consoles, which is like, oh wow, that's pretty interesting, And so they posted a picture, and I saw he was using a 500 in a Stadium wing, but he had this weird thing where he took the side panels off of the Stadium wing and the 500, and he just put it right next to each other, so you didn't have a huge gap between them, which is what I do now all the time, constantly. Like every show, I try, if we're running our consoles off of road cases, they just stay in the road cases, so I don't do that, because there's going to be a huge gap anyways. But if we're doing a show on tables, on a proper FOH, then I do take off those side panels, and it's great. It's fantastic. It makes it kind of more like a full-size Camsys console, if you will. But yeah, I really like it. I have to drink a lot of water here. The air conditioner makes my throat very dry, which is not great. So more Camsys info. Actually, I'm probably gonna eventually start working a little bit. So this rig in an Amphitheatre 2,500, no, I think it's more. I think it's like 3,000 seats. It's big. It's real big. I can't say where it is or what it is right now because still in pre-production, as you can see. But it's big. It's nice. It's very fancy. So the only real place that we can do front lighting from, there's 2 places, but there's one ideal place. This top ring right here. If I go to reel, here we go. You can see there's not really any good places to do front lighting from. So what literally everyone who comes to this venue does is they erect, they call them totems here. I call them truss towers, but apparently they call them totems. So I might use that interchangeably while I'm talking about this. So the original plan for this rig was to do 25. No, not 25. It was 15 totems on each side of the venue. So 20 or 15 here and 15 here. Because last year they did 600 fixtures, which is a lot of fixtures, but Camsys handled it really well because 200 universes, it's a lot, can handle a lot. So 600 fixtures, and this year they were like, nah. At the start they were like, no, let's half it. Let's do 300 fixtures instead, because we want to save a bit of money. Turns out the LD, the lighting designer, for the main act, the main show, he was like, nah, I want 50 trusses. Now, if you've used Capture before, you probably know that Capture's not really great at doing circles, or doing lots of things in a circle. So, which is unfortunate. Like, I absolutely love Capture, but this is one downfall that's pretty big and very annoying to deal with, and it's a chore. It's very much a chore. It took me, I think, an hour or two to do this side, because now the LD wants 50 trusses, 50 towers or totems. So each tower has on top of it a PR lighting 480 Aqua 480 beam, which is a big, heavy IP rated beam, 480 watts. Apparently it's very bright. I haven't turned it on in the warehouse yet because it's just too heavy to take out, and I don't really feel like it. I took out all of our Roby stuff, but I didn't take out these because I don't, whatever, I have programmed them in Capture, so we're all good on that side, but I just didn't want to have the guys, because right now my office is on the second floor of the warehouse, which is not ideal, and there's no elevators, so whenever we bring up the consoles, it's a big thing, because we have to bring the console up the elevator, or not the elevator, the stairs, and so I didn't want to have these guys bring up a 100-pound light, because it's, let's see, oh, this is really great. Capture has all the weight data for these lights. 45 kilograms, that's a heavy light. That's heavier than the BeamFL for anyone interested. It's a very heavy light. Oh no, 0 watching. Well, whatever. I'm just gonna be working. So, we've got 50 of these on these towers. They're very bright. They're IP rated. That's why we use them. We don't want to send out our pointies. And another reason why we're not sending out our pointies on this show is there's another show that's using a lot of them. I can't tell you about that show either right now. I definitely can't tell you about this show. I might slip a little bit on this, but I definitely cannot tell you anything about the other show because it's very big, and I'm very excited. I will try to get some videos. That's one thing I'm really trying to do for that secret show, because I think I can get away with saying the specs of the rig. I probably can't show you the rig itself, but I can tell you the specs. The rig is a bunch of BMFLs. I won't tell you numbers either, because I'm just tiptoeing the line. A bunch of BMFLs, some BMFL blades, some Claypacky K20 BIs, which, amen. Oh, I've always wanted to use those. Unfortunately, since we're running MA, because these acts are all MA, no one uses Camsys. No one uses Camsys, unfortunately, on these big touring shows. So they're all running on MA. We're running MA-net MPUs because all of our normal data distros are going for this show, because this is a very big venue. The stage is like 20 meters across. It's very big. So all of our data distribution is all going to this. So we have to rent some MA MPUs and some nodes for this. Luckily, I have contacted MA and was like, hey, can I run my console on your MPUs? Not MPUs, your nodes? And they're like, yeah, you can. You can just run our net. And I'm like, yes. Because I want to do at least one show on that rig. Because, BMFLs and K20s and pointies. Actually, that's our beam line. We've got like 66 pointies. I can tell you the numbers of pointies because that's just straight out of our inventory. Oh, damn it. Am I? Oh, no, I think we're good. Again, sorry if I cough. I'm not sick. This is very dry here. Oh man, no one's watching. This was like gonna be my big comeback. But I guess it is like early in the morning for Europe, and it is a Friday. So I'm guessing no one really wants to watch a live stream on a Friday. Unfortunately for me, my free day is on Fridays. And it's very weird. Middle East is very weird. I've been to, I think, I got the number, I counted, it was like 27 different European countries. Or not just European, actually no, it was 27 different European countries. So I've been to, I'm 20 years old, that's a lot of countries for a 20-year-old. And I don't want to brag or anything, like I'm not rich. I just had opportunities. Yeah. Yeah. I was very, very, very lucky. Crazy lucky. Because that's also where I learned all this lighting stuff, is in high school, because I had some nice toys. As I've said before in this channel, as I've explained before in this channel, I had a lot of really nice toys in high school, which let me do what I do now. So, yes, this rig is using a bunch of PR stuff. I'm pretty sure the BMFL is like 35 kilos, and these lights, these PRs are 45, so very heavy. And we have to. There's no elevator. There is an elevator, but we can't use it to bring our stuff up because the venue was like, no, this is for the VIPs. You can't use the elevator. But here's the thing: the VIPs never go into that VIP room for these shows, because they're out in the VIP section, which is right here. They're right here all the time. So it's just a slap in the face. Because, like, oh no, you're going to break the elevator. Well, the elevator shouldn't break. Like, it should, we know how heavy our stuff is. It should just not break. Get a better elevator. This is, I can't say what the venue is, but it's a very rich area. Yeah. So, the reason it takes me so long to do this, oh man, my hands are freezing. This AC is cold. Like before, I haven't changed the settings of this AC. Right now it's like 16 or 18 degrees. It's supposed to be going at. Oh man, maybe I should post this to Facebook. I think I will do some Camsys programming. Oh, I totally will, because I need to, patch. I will. I kind of need to. Oh, and I'll get to show everyone my new show file. It's not super new, but the cloning is super great. Like, oh my god. The cloning, I've set it up so it's really great with cloning. Hey, everyone. Yeah, I'm very busy. So this is a one-off. Time to do a live stream if there we go, if anyone is. Oh, and I probably should do the link. It really sucks that I can't use my Stream Deck because the Stream Deck is made for live streaming, and I can't use it because I've got my microphone working and plugged in. All right, before I start, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and yeah, I'll be like 2 minutes probably. And let's see, mute. Okay. Let me just get my headphones on so I can hear. Oh, I haven't even noticed that. I've got my wow, I didn't notice that. I have I don't know, feedback, I guess. Not feedback, but like I can hear what I'm saying. Usually I hate that, but it's working nice. It's working nice. So, yes, I will be showing my show file later because it is a fancy, fancy show file now, and it works marvels. Is this it? This actually might be it. BMFL. Pointy. It is. It is it. Fantastic. This is my cloning show file. And boy oh boy, does it work well. As you can see, that's one thing I will show. So this show file is from the 500, and as you can see, it's a bit not great. Hey Camsys, if you're listening, which I think you are sometimes, can you make the yeah? Can you make the transition between why is this a netmaster? Should not be a netmaster right now. Can you make the transition between the 500 and the PC much better? Because right now it's not great. I love you, but right now it's not super great. Why do I have so many IPs? Let's just do the loopback. It's like, finally, I hate that message so much. I hate it with a burning passion, the invalid net message. I really hate it. So very different actually. Before I start on the Camsys, on the capture stuff. Oh, no one. What? Oh yeah. I'm sure people who are tuning in might have seen the picture that I posted yesterday of my console setup now. Yes, that. Luckily, I have a lot of consoles with me, and a lot of peripherals, a lot of Camsys stuff. It turns out, this company that I'm working for now is the only company in this country, in the Middle East. I'm going to be very vague right now because my boss told me not to say what the country was. Or he said county, but I'm pretty sure that's a typo. So I can't really say that, the country right now. But, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, we are the only company, the only production company in this country that have Camsys consoles. So when our MQ60 died, so just to go over the consoles we have the MQ 500, which is our main console. We don't have a backup, and unfortunately, I don't think we will be getting one because we're switching to MA. I'm sorry. I'm honestly, truly sorry. And I'm also sorry to say that this was mostly my decision. But the reason we're switching to MA has to do with the acts that come through here. The acts that come through here are all using MA. So, and it's not to say we're gonna ditch our Camsys consoles. We're gonna keep them. I'm never letting go of the 500 and all these nice consoles. And I'm still gonna be very much a Camsys person, but we're looking to be getting an MA3 full size soon, because all of the acts, all the touring acts that come through here, they all want MA consoles. It's not like we can tell them, hey, actually, can you? We've actually got this really cool Camsys console. Can you, deal with that? And no, we can't say that, right? So we can't. We have to get an MA. It's at this point, like, we had a choice between waiting for the new Camsys Stadium console, which I think is probably going to come out in the next year or so, because it's been like 5 years. Camsys, just a few things about that console. Camsys, it better have motorized faders. It better have backlit keys, because I can't see shit in the dark, and I hate those goddamn lamps. Like, I know they're great and all, but I hate them, because, they block your view, and it's just easy. Every single mechanical keyboard in the world has backlit keys. Do it. And this is a minor gripe. Mechanical keys, please. Not stupid membrane, because those suck. Just mechanical keys. Keep the flash buttons. Those are awesome. Actually, the flash... We have a bunch of old school playback wings. So we have a playback wing and an execute wing. So for those youngsters who don't know what those are, I'm saying this because I'm a youngster, but those are awesome. They're so good. So the playback wing, this was back in the days of the MQ100, the MQ200, and the MQ300. And a lot of people don't know about the MQ300, which surprises me because it's a huge console and it's very cool. I think it's crazy amounts of playback. Let me just... MQ300. It has a crazy amount of playbacks. I wish they would still have the specs up for those. Hey, Camsys, can you keep the pages up for the MQ100, 200, and 300 so we can look at the specs? I do like the new Camsys webpage, but they haven't taken down the old one. And some things are on the old one that aren't on the new one. I think the FAQ is there. Yeah, the FAQ is not on the new website. But I heard, the MQ50. What's the difference between the MQ50 and 70? It doesn't have backlit faders. I think that's it. And a smaller display, maybe? Someone commented on that picture that I posted on the Camsys group. They're like, "Oh, I can run, or 20 faders is plenty enough for me." And it kind of sounded a little bit passive-aggressive. So I'm like, ooh boy, all right, here we go. We got a badass over here. And to be fair, it looks like that guy's running multiple consoles. He's running like Stream Deck and stuff. No, Stream Deck. What's it called? Launchpad? Not a Launchpad. Novation, like APC something. So he's running multiple things, but it's still like, and it also looks like he's an LD for a club. But, like, different people have different workflows, You can do a great show with lots of faders. You don't need to, Like, extra faders is not a bad thing. And especially when you get to rigs, when you have a lot more lights. Like, I'm doing rigs now with 200 and more lights, right? You kind of start needing more faders, especially for the corporate stuff, where you kind of need to do changes. Oh, I need to change my thing so that it displays the right thing. Oh, that's going to happen all the time. So, like I said before, my laptop monitor is dead. My laptop still works, and I think that's the background noise you're hearing because I turned my AC on. It's probably my laptop, but the laptop's fine, just the display is off, so I I have all this up on an external monitor, and it hurts me to not use multiple monitors. Although I have, like, the Surface Studio has kind of mitigated that a little bit because it has a giant 27-inch monitor. Like, it's awesome. But yeah. So let's see. That picture I posted, I was using. A few people asked, so I was using. Man, I keep like getting distracted. So let's finish this a little bit. I should just make sure that it's showing the right thing. Yeah. So actually, I should also see if this stream is running. It is. We're good. So I'm running the MQ500 plus stadium wing. Fantastic. I do have a few complaints about that. I'll talk about those after. I have a MQ. The next in line is the MQ60. That one's bricked though, because I was. Actually, that's for later as well. But that one's not working right now. We have to send it back to Camsys. Although Master Extraordinaire Jose, our I don't know what to call him. He's like. He just knows everything. He's that guy in the warehouse who just knows how to fix everything. He took out the power supply and he was like, yeah, it's the power supply. And I'm like, okay. Shout out to Dan from Camsys. Thank you for dealing with my bullshit. I'm sorry for emailing you like every day. I seem to be very good at finding bugs on the 500. I think I found a few. To my surprise, one of them was actually featured in the update notes. And it was that bug where the console would slow down. Is this a display capture? I think it is. I don't want to go to. It kind of has to be a display capture. I don't think I have. I think I closed the bugs page. Did I? I did. So it was featured in the latest beta. So basically, the 500, or it may be across the whole platform, but in my case, the 500, when it was connected to Capture, and I was sending stuff to Capture, when I would close Capture, the console would slow down, like, by a lot. I'm talking maybe 5 to 10 second lag, which is really not, it's terrible, right? That's garbage. You cannot deal with that. Turns out it was an issue, as I kind of suspected, because in the middle of troubleshooting, this issue happened to me as I was doing this royal wedding, and the crazy thing about royal weddings here in the Middle East is it's all women, right? So it's kind of a thing where no men can be in the room, so it's like a traditional wedding, but there's no men, and so all of the consoles and stuff have to be backstage behind the curtains, and the console operators, if they're men, cannot see inside the venue, right? So, yeah, it's very weird. It's very frightening the first time, and it's very. I think it will still continue to be frightening. So I can program as long as there's no women in the room. I mean, as long as so they all wear their, I don't know what it's called. It's not the burqa, but it's something similar. They all wear that, right? So I can be in the room and I can program and all that with the haze and see what everything looks like. But showtime, I have to be backstage, because what they do is they take off. This is the one time where all the ladies take off their burqas and they wear super nice stuff because there's only women in the room, and it's like, oh, you can't look. So that's why we had Capture open on the Surface, so I could kind of see what the lighting was doing. But I closed Capture for some reason during the show, and luckily it wasn't a very interesting queue-intensive show. We were in the same queue for about 5 hours. Very boring. Oh my god. It was, yeah, not interesting. But we had this bridal entrance, which had a lot of queues. It had like 10, for this show it was a lot of queues. It was 10 queues. And it had to be hit on time with the music. So this was before the bridal shower, or the bridal entrance, and we're like, oh shit, the console's lagging a lot. And we couldn't tell if it was outputting ArtNet that was lagging too, because we can't see in the room. and I can't look at the display, the output, because that's lagging too. Everything's lagging. The whole console's lagging. So what I did was, during my troubleshooting, I decided, screw it. I'll unplug the Cat 5 from the Surface and see what happens. Nothing happens. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Plugged it back in like 20 minutes later as a last ditch. I was like, well, the console's there's no fix in the console. I can't do a soft reset because all the lights will reset and the show's going on, so I can't do that. So, we'll deal with it. So I was like, whatever. I'll just plug the Cat 5 back in. I plugged it in, and Capture happened to be running again on the Surface, and everything, all the lag went away. Everything was fine. So I was like, perfect. So I emailed Dan the log files and everything, and was like, hey, this is a bit of a problem. And he was like, yeah, that's cool. I'll pass it on to the team. I'm like, I'm sorry for emailing you. So it turns out it was a bug. It was fixed in the latest beta. I'm not running that beta yet because I'm doing shows where I kind of have to run stable. And I know I should probably upgrade to the latest stable because it's 1.4.7, I think, right now. I don't know. I should probably upgrade to the latest stable, but whatever. 500, and then the Stadium Wing. Great consoles, a few complaints, whatever. The MQ60 died because I plugged it into some DMX controllable winches. I'm guessing, because this was around the time it died, that those winches sent maybe voltage. I don't know, I'm not a power guy, but it sent something down the DMX line and bricked the console. So that's, whatever. Sorry for the coughing again, very dry. So that console's dead, which is very sad, but not a big deal right now, which I'm sure will anger a few people who are still running on PC Wings and stuff. I'm sorry, guys. Love you guys. I feel you. But that one's bricked. We're going to send it to Camsys eventually. And then we've got the MQ40N. So these smaller consoles are mostly used. I've tried to run them as backup, but for some shows it's just not worth it, or not. There's no point. Because I want a backup for the 500, but whatever. And I have found a few bugs when running backups. So like on the MQ60, usually when I was programming when I first got here, I had that networked up to the 500, and whenever I would move a Q stack in the Q stack window from the 500, any information in that Q stack would just disappear, and it would only happen when 60 was connected. So I'm not doing that anymore. But the console's dead anyway, right? So we're gonna send that to Camsys. We've got an MQ40N for smaller corporate stuff, and then we've got an MQ100, old school, which is working fine. They're all running on the. When I got here, the MQ60 was running on 1.5. Which was like, holy shit, that's a few years old, man. That's like hard to do. How do you not keep that up to date? And I had to step through the software updates. I think I had to step through about 8 software updates for it to finally get to the latest 1.8.3.1. So yeah. So that one, but again, that one's dead right now. So whatever. So we've got the MQ40, the MQ100. The MQ100 doesn't get much use because it's huge. It's absolutely enormous. It's much more big than I remember it. That's what you said. And so we don't really use that. We just use the 60 or the 40 now for the smaller corporate stuff. So my show file has changed a lot. And the big reason has been my switch from PC to the 500. And a lot of things change when you go to the 500, and it doesn't really become easy to switch between the 500 and the PC version. That's probably my biggest complaint right now, is you can't easily switch show files. You can't really go from a 500 show file to a PC Wing show file, just partly because the consoles are so different. You've got 15 playbacks on the 500 plus another 15 if you have a PC or a Stadium Wing, and that reminds me of one other. I have a lot of complaints. I will always have a lot of complaints about everything, because there's always ways of making things better. But right now the 500, it only has one video output, and when you have a Stadium Wing connected up to the 500, that takes up that video output, so then you can't have another external monitor. You can get around this by having a networked a PC as a net wing or a net multi-wing mode or multi-window mode. But right now, yeah, you can't really do anything about it, which sucks. But whatever, you know. I will deal with it. And three monitors is enough. Anyways, 5 monitors. Jeez, that's like MA3 getting MA3 territory. But so my show file has changed a lot, and the main reason why the change between a PC and a 500 is mainly the windows. On MA, it's super easy because you just toggle the different windows that you're gonna use. So here it's kind of different because Camsys treats them differently, right? So this right here, usually, actually, why is that there? That's usually on the. Oh right. So you've got on the 500, you've got 2 screens. The one on the left is considered the second screen. The one on the right is considered the first one. Now, for my purposes, I usually have my main windows, my group, position, all this stuff. As you can see, it's not showing up because I do not have that plugged in. I probably have to go to this, and then there you go, disable that. So right now, if I do group and then effects, it's not color beam position, then they show up. This is the main window most people are familiar with, right? But I have this on the monitor on the left because I have the stadium console, or the stadium wing. So I like having, because I sit in the middle of the console in front of the playbacks of the 500. I like having this on that on the left monitor, and then I have an execute window on either side of that. So I have my main on the right, which is, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar if you've watched me, it's this window here, my master window, and then I have my effects window on the left on the stadium wing, the stadium wing. So when you go back to PC, it's hard because PC, the first window that it thinks is the first window is the window on the right. So I kind of wish there was a way of toggling that so you could switch between the two. So if you go to PC, you have to close this, re-record your layouts, and re-record all of them, which is a pain in the ass. How do you do this again? Sorry, I'm so used to the full. And there is this, but this is not great. I'm sorry, Camsys, I have to criticize you, or else, I'd just be a Camsys shell, which I normally am. But this is not your best work, Camsys. This could be so much better. Like, this is just crowded to the extreme. I know it's supposed to be similar to the console, but most people using this who are on the 500 and want to go back and program on PC from their home, they need to be able to program on this. This is not a great solution. Because usually, so on the 500, you have this window on the left that has all of your 12 layouts, which is great. It's fine. It's perfect, And then these buttons here, I didn't know what they were at first. Let me explain what they are because they're pretty useful. There's assignable keys to whatever you want in the macro window. So usually I just have those assigned to my 3 most used layouts. So here you can see it's assigned to F1, and then this one's going to be assigned to F2, and this one's F3. So these are usually my main layouts because it's just much faster for me to, because I always have a hand on the right near the keypad and stuff. And I will say the muscle memory was pretty easy to pick up for this. I am very happy with that. The layout is pretty good. I do wish some of the keys are a little bit farther apart from each other, mostly because it's just I do a lot of misclicks, like fat fingers and stuff. So if I'm going to hit move or whatever, I'll accidentally hit copy. Yeah, it's not a huge deal. It's just a little bit annoying. Real quick, since I don't want to. Oh, there's one person watching. Hello, one person watching. How are you? Yeah, that's one of the main things, and you can see here something I didn't know is it shows you both windows. I kind of wish it showed you the third window when you're plugged into a Stadium Wing, but whatever, that doesn't matter because I think it'd just take too much space here. But it shows you the windows here, and it's great because you can see like, oh, that's group, position, beam, color, right? So as you can see, this is on the right side. So I mean, right? If I put this, it's showing on the right window, whatever's on the right window. So if I go here, it's the programmer, and yeah. Man, I'm coughing too much, man. Too dry here. But this show file is really great. And I don't know why it took me this long to kind of develop a show file like this. But the reason it's great is because it's a cloning show file. And I never really set up a show file that was meant for cloning, that was set up to do cloning easily. I kind of just always like, oh, I have to add a light, I might as well clone this and reprogram the whole show. But now, it's very, very good system. And when you see like whenever Camsys has those news things on the website, and whenever there's questions, he's like, what's your favorite feature of Camsys? And the guy's like, the cloning feature. You're just like, what? I never use that. But now I get it. It's so good. So if I have a row of a few lights, in this case I probably will have to clone, I have to go to a different show file that has the proper lights patched. But in this case, so here I think this is patched for that top secret show I can't say anything about. But it's not really updated, I have to update it. But if I'm doing a row of 8, so I just have all these lights that are unpatched and they never get patched or anything. And they also have a different color because I don't want to accidentally, it just makes it easier. So if I have a row of 8 instead of 10, so right now my show file has 10 of these programmed 2 rows. So if I have 2 rows of 8, instead of cloning the same row twice, I just have 2 rows programmed in. That way I can have a bit, like, it fixes odd and even stuff and it just makes it look nicer. So like, if I'm doing 8, then I just go from 2 to 9 and I clone that, and then I have a row of 8 lights that are perfectly programmed. I don't have to change anything, which has made my life so much easier because I don't have to program pretty much anything anymore. The only thing I really have to program nowadays is positions, and that's it. That's really pretty much the only thing I program anymore. It's a shame, but it's so much faster now. It's ridiculously faster to do it this way. The only thing that takes time is making the outputs window, because I always make this. I always make an outputs window, because then I can do very easily my selection, my symmetrical selection. Other than that, very fast, very good. I'm still figuring out some stuff on the flash buttons here. I still don't really know what I want to do with them. They're kind of everywhere right now. Sorry, God, I'm just dying. It's very good, honestly. I have added a bunch of other stuff as well. Damn it. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's such a pain in the ass to switch, because now this color is on window 2. It has to be on this one. Oh, and it's on the wrong side. Left. Here we go. So I have added a bunch of color stuff, which is great. Fantastic. Now goes up to pink. And then I have UV CTO. I have 2 CTOs because why not? And then I have UV. I'm adding CTC as well because I do a lot of corporate stuff where there's film people. I've only worked on 2 shows. No, I think on all the shows I've done so far. Yes, on all the shows I've done so far, there have been broadcast people. Actually, on the royal wedding, there was no broadcast people. There was professional photographers. Those are fine. Those are great. They just came up to me and are like, "Hey, what color temperature are you working on?" I'm like, "I don't know, RGB." I'm just like 70% red, 50% green, and 100% blue. I wish I could do something better because there are macros. So all of my lights are mostly Roby stuff. I have the Roby 600 wash LED. I have like 80 of those. And then I have Roby Pointy, another 80. And then I have the Roby 100 beam, which is, could be better, could be brighter. But they're all 7 years old, so they're champs. They're seriously, like, sure, a few, like we have 80 of each basically. But They last. We've had them for 7 years so far, and we do have a few that we have to replace on site where we're like, oh, that light's not really working. Well, let's just get a spare, and that's why we always bring spare lights just in case. But considering how long they've worked and they still worked fine, it's like, holy shit. That's why you buy Roby stuff, people, because they make good lights. Sure, it's expensive, but good shit. So we're going to be getting some, which I'm very excited about. We're getting new lights. Woo. We're getting 36 mega points. Woo, woo boy, mega points. Everyone loves mega points. And we're getting 36 spiders, which everyone also loves spiders. Roby stuff is great. I have no complaints. They make good stuff. 10 out of 10. The only thing above Roby is maybe PRG, the bad boys. If everyone watching this should go look at the DMX sheet, the DMX profile for the Roby bad boys. It's insane. They have 16-bit control over gobo wheels. What? They have 3 channels for gobos. For a single gobo wheel, they have 3 channels. What? It's insane. They have a mode channel, and then they have the high and low. I still don't know what the mode channel does. They also have a designer channel. I have no idea what that does, but it has 16-bit dimming or control, and it also has a mode for it. I don't know. It's cool, but apparently it's very cool because you can fade gobos really easily from the console, as opposed to using the timing channel, which is like, I wish everyone would do that. That'd be fantastic. So, since I posted this to the Camsys group on Facebook, I might as well go through the show file before I continue working on capture. I've added a whole bunch, I think it's about 50 maybe, of just kind of different colors, but they're not, so these are all my super saturated colors. I should move this. I don't have my macros on right now. The reason I have a black is I'm experimenting with some pixel mapping on the 600 and the 100. It's not working well right now. That's what the RGB is here for. I was doing some experimentations on pixel mapping. Like I said, it's not really going that well. Anyways, so saturated colors here. 2 CTOs. One is for the actual, here, let's bring up this baby. Here we go. See what I'm saying? Camsys, please fix this so I don't have to re-record everything all the time. Oh, wait. That was the wrong thing. Right, there we go. Again, sorry for the background noise. There you go, record that. Oh, the reason it comes up with that when you record a look is because you're recording, oh, what's this? Left, right. Oh, never saw that. You're recording different layouts for different monitors, which usually you don't see on actually, I don't even remember. I don't think you see it on the normal PC version. So, if I take my washes here, and you will see my washes have kind of changed, my group layouts have kind of changed a little bit. It works pretty well now. I have, usually it's just, so you have the main row, so here pointies, and then there's an odd and even for each group, and then there's an accent 2, a random. The reason there's all those is, and usually actually there's a sync, there's a symmetrical group as well. The reason there's all these groups is especially for corporate. I hate corporate. I've only done 3 corporate shows so far. I hate them. Although, the wedding wasn't too bad because I was fancy and we had haze. But everything else, oh god, pain in the ass, so boring. Luckily, the next few months is all concerts, which is my shit. So, main row. And then, one thing I found that's super, super helpful when doing this random group, because before I would just do it manually. I would go like, I'm an idiot. I don't know how to do this. I'll just randomly select everything and, hopefully it works out. That's how I did it before. Now you can just hold all and then hit that, hit random, and it randomizes the group for you. And you can just record that right there. And voila. Actually, it should be fine to do this. I'm pretty sure you can see this. I have a new macro, I have a new auto hotkey script. It's super great. It doesn't use any macros anymore. Actually, it uses like 3. Whereas before, my script used a million macros on Camsys. Now, everything is on the script, so I can go from computer to computer and just use it. Like, it's not a problem. I just have to make sure it's set up in the right way on this, so it's programming shortcuts. But other than that, it's all great. You know, hit boom. There's all my keyboard macros. It's really nice. I can't check the chat right now if anyone's talking. I will have my phone up though. There you go. My phone up is probably gonna die eventually. So if I go over here and I select my washes, I have 2 CTOs for a very good reason. One is these fixtures, all of these fixtures, all the LED Roby fixtures, they all have a independent CTO channel, which is great. Really love it, you know. So one of them is everything's white, and then the CTO is at max, and then the other one is the RGB is the CTO, and the actual CTO is at full. Oh, because there's no data in there. That's why. If I just go, you'll see. It's slowing down a little bit. Look at that. So there's no RGB or CTO in there. So I just have to please fix the encoders. Camsys, they're not great on this version at least. Oh man, my back. I swear, I always have the stretch. I'm on a coffee table, and it's really not great. I'm getting a table soon. So all of these are super fine controlled colors. So this row is all light stuff because these fixtures also have a white channel, which is great. All fixtures should have a white channel. I love it. It's great because then I can do these really quickly. So it's just like light red. So it's just red at 100% plus white, and light green, and they're very nice. They're really nice. Like I use this one for a bunch of corporate shows because you know it's just light cyan. You know, it's good. I wish every fixture had that. And then some cool white, a bunch of like I think this is Lee Broadway Pink. A bunch of these. I still have to change them because I programmed them off the visualizer and they don't look super great. Actually, no, I had a 600 in my office and I was programming them like that, but it was pointed at a white wall and it's not exactly the best way to program colors. You should program on a show. So all of these are like light, different color changes. So, you know, 30%, 75. This one's probably, very, these are great. I use them quite a bit, but only a few. So like dark salmon and stuff, I use that a lot. And warm white. Actually, I used warm white a lot for corporate shows because they want like a CTO. That's not a CTO. They want like a light CTO. So I just put warm white. That way the camera guys don't complain, which is something I found. I've always heard that camera guys complain, but they do complain a lot. Like, oh boy. So that's that. This is still here. The master file. This stuff is still here. I've updated a little bit. I've made my windows. I used to have my windows in 14, I think. Or actually in 12. Right now I have them set up in 12 to have 12 rows of 12. It's not really rows of 12. It's rows of 7 because usually no one does. But I think what they mean is if you go like this, it's a row of 14. Usually I have them in a row of 12 so that I have 6 when it's on the left or when it's on here. But now it's 7. I had to redo a bunch of organizational stuff so that it looked good again, and had to relearn some muscle memory because usually I have these like at another group. Can't remember which one it was before, but so I would just go like group 30 and do it that way instead of clicking on the touchscreen, because sometimes it's just faster if you already have your hand on the keypad. Just use that. So anyways, continue on this. This row is for different rows. So row 1, row 2, row 3, and then there's a groups row. Usually this isn't really that filled, but because I don't really have that many groups. And sometimes I have extra groups as well, depending on the rig. So if I need to have control of if I have like an array of 24 pointies, for example, I need to be able to control, and they're all in rows of 4, and there's like 6 rows. I want to be able to control and do, mostly for positions, I want to be able to select each one so I can fan them properly and use the fan group feature. So it depends on the show. It changes from show to show. This is some pixel mapping stuff that I'm working on. That's not really, again, it's not going super great. But every fixture has like a group and a bunch of rows, which is great. You know, it works well. And then I have, for my beams window has also changed quite a bit as well. Close this. Nope. This has to go inside. Man, I'm supposed to be working on that plot. Not right. Not on this. This has changed as well. A lot, actually. It's completely different from before. Now, I have this row here, which is masters. So, Pebbles all is obviously Pebble. It's kind of like a Pebble group, Pebble breakup. Man, what's that background noise? It's Friday, and Friday is considered to be the weekend here in the Middle East, which is weird. So Thursday is really Friday, which is kind of, yeah. Oh yeah, you can totally hear like a bunch of kids losing their heads or something. Anyways, Pebbles all is every fixture in a rig goes to whatever is their breakup, their best breakup. So, you know, on the BMFL, great stuff, very useful. Sun rays, really great for the pointy. I really love it. It's a super nice. It's not a gobo, but it's a super nice setup. It is the linear prism with a beam reducer, and the rotating gobo wheel is open, and it looks great. It's a line of beams. I do have to mess around with some indexing prism stuff, which I wish there was a separate channel for indexing, because I have a system. I have a really great system for controlling rotation now for gobos. Holy shit! Yeah, they're going crazy now. My new system for rotation is I have a fader for it, and I've had faders for it before, but now it works super well. If I go to, is it this one? Yeah, here we go. I can control the direction of the rotation from this. I just replace a soft palette, as I do for like my entire show file. It's all soft palettes. Amen for soft palettes. When I started on Camsys, I thought they were stupid and useless, but now I'm like, oh, thank you. They're really great. I do wish I could, because this is a pain in the ass. There was a better way to do effects on separate fixtures. So right now, before, I have to talk about this because this is much different than before. This is my effects window. I'm sure anyone who's watched this channel before has seen this a million times. It has changed a lot now, although, you know, the intensity effects have changed. Like, there's just 2 new effects, and I have gotten rid of the odd and even effects because they were useless and I never used them. But everything's changed because when you get to bigger rigs, no one tells you this, but when you get to bigger rigs, you want to have better control over different groups. And that's why you see the Kristen Jackson color picker. Because, you know, when you're on a small rig, you're kind of like, oh, that's useless. Why would I ever, you know, have a control over each group? I only have, you know, 2 different groups of lights. But when you're on a rig, when you have, you know, 200, 300 lights, you're like, oh boy, here we go. A bunch of stuff is going to change. Because you want to do separate effects on the beam fixtures and separate effects on the spot fixtures and separate effects on the wash fixtures, because you have so many of them. Putting the same effect on all of them sometimes isn't what you want to do. You want to maybe swap between the 2 or do crazy stuff like that. And it's just hard. You can't really do it super well right now on Camsys, in my opinion. At least not the way I do it. There's probably an easier way, but right now, yeah, I don't really see a great one. I tried to set it up so I had some groups, and I use the built-in effects, which I do use sometimes. I do sometimes use them, mostly for programming and not for during the actual show. But I did try to use this, and it didn't really work out because it wouldn't remember the group order, and I couldn't do symmetrical effects, because usually all of these, I just select each group, and then I just make it a group effect, and then I just do within groups. So if I go to, I think Tilt Random is like the only effect that I've recorded and updated so far. Here we go. It's a tilt sign effect within a group here. So it's taking group forward, or it's a bunch of different groups, and it's just doing it within the group, so that all the groups are synced perfectly to each other, and it works pretty well. The only thing is if I want to do a different effect on my spots than my beams. So say I want to do a tilt effect on my spots and I want to do a circle effect on my beams. It's not super great. It's not super easy to do that right now. Not the way I want to do it, at least. So the way I've done it right now, and it's not really great and I want to change it, is I just have macros in each one. So the top row kills the bottom 2 rows. Luckily, I didn't really have to think about this system because I've already done it on a color picker. But like the color picker, I killed the color picker because it was garbage. And it just took too long to update. It was just not great. So now I have this, so I can control my spots and my beams, but it's not really great. I want to change it, because what if I have washes and it takes even more space? Or what if I have even another group of lights that I want to change differently? I would like to be able to turn off effects to go, like on MA you can just go, you can have, what's it called, an executor, I guess, or a Q stack, and you can just hit it and then select whatever effect you want. So I would also like to be able to turn off effects on certain fixtures, because sometimes I want to put effects on my front light fixtures, and sometimes I just want it to be front lighting. But you can't easily do that right now on Camsys. So sometimes I want to have my front lighting in the master, so it goes with the entire rig. But sometimes I don't want to have my front lighting in the master. Well, it has to be in the master, but I don't want the effect to be on. So I tried doing that with size masters. It didn't really work super well, because it wouldn't work great with my master size master, my master speed master, and stuff like that. That's one thing I kind of wish would change. So I have added. So this is my position. I'm gonna change this probably. This is gonna change definitely. Because I am doing, that's going to be great. I'm doing a super big show, and that one I will probably be able to talk about and show you the rig and everything and show you the programming. So I'm going to get a GoPro Hero, one of the new ones, the new expensive ones, and start a vlog channel like Christian Jackson and be super popular. If you can't tell, that's very much sarcasm. So new color picker, it's not really that new. It's literally just I've added a row to it. And I haven't done anything with that extra row yet. Like, the idea was I would be able to have one row for 2 colors and then have another 2 color row so I could do different 2 color effects, I think. I don't know where I was going with that. But, whatever. It's there. If I want to add another row, well, it's already there. And there's no bitmaps on this, because bitmaps don't... Oh, wait a minute. Usually, bitmaps don't transfer they don't stay in the show file, but apparently they have on this, but they haven't on the color picker, which is kind of weird, because these are all my custom pointy gobos. I've removed all the odd and even effects from everything. Now the color effects are over here to take less space, and so I have more space down here to add stuff. I don't know what, but it's there. It's there. There's a bunch of these that I haven't worked out yet. So bubbles, those are non-existent right now. Rainbow and Rainbow Rain or Rainbow Random are there. But Rain, Color Flake, the Color Flakes I haven't worked super, they don't work super well right now. Oh, this one's not soloed. I don't need to solo it because I'm not going to use this show file. So, that's this. Work in progress. This is also a work in progress right now, because I no longer really I don't know, I haven't run a concert yet on the 500. But right now, I just have, as you can see down here on Execute Wing, or Execute 1, I just have all my positions here, all my main, these are master positions, so these are my main positions for the whole rig, and it just takes up the bottom row of the pause buttons, which is really useful. That way I can just hit a button and then the whole rig will go, and I can use that with the busking rate master. 10 out of 10, I like it. I kind of wish it would also transfer to the stadium wing, but it doesn't right now. Camsys, please. But 30 flat or 30 customizable buttons are great. Usually for corporate shows, another thing I'll do is I'll remove this and just replace it with groups. So if I have a spots playback, the pause button selects that group. So it'll select the spots group, and that is super useful. It's so useful that it's gotten to the point where now, even on my concert show files, I put it there because I've gotten so used to it on the corporate shows that I go to push it and go, oh wait, no, there's no group there. I have to go select it from the window or the keypad, you know. So now it's super great. I love it. I'm kind of trying to figure out. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have that for programming, and I'll have this row for programming, and then I'll just delete that row or move it down, and then move this row up for the actual show. We'll see. I do wish there was, because there's the flash buttons. That's one gripe also. The flash buttons. These. It's not that they're bad. It's that for some reason they've gone with 4-3 instead of 5-3. So there's only 4 in a row. I wish it was 5 in a row because literally everything anyone's done is 5 in a row. Any MA console users are using 5 in a row because they're off the X keys, right? And even Camsys, right? All of the playbacks are 5 in a row. Like, you don't have, well, on the old ones you do have 4, but everything here is 5. You've got, this is 15, right? So, and there's which is this is a really nice feature. Well, nice design at least. They've put little spaces between. So there's a row of 5 here, and then there's a little space here. So you can really easily organize stuff, and you don't misclick and accidentally hit something you didn't mean to. A very useful, very easy feature to add, and I'm very happy about it. Actually, I think this is just going to be like a Camsys stream, and then it'll be a short one too, because I have to get to work. Or maybe not. We'll see. I think that's most of this show file. Actually, it's not. There's probably a lot more that I'm just forgetting that I've changed. But for now, I have to go back to capture, and I have to do this. So as we move on, we switch to capture. I'm going to take another break. I'm sorry. Do you use the Stream Deck in this setup? Yes, I do. Yeah, the Stream Deck. I do use the Stream Deck for, I send OSC to, and that's a bug that actually happened. I send OSC from the Stream Deck to the console. It works really well. I put some extra buttons on there all the time. And you can trigger stuff from the execute window. You can trigger stuff that's on the execute window 1 to 10 from the Stream Deck, which is very useful. I haven't implemented that feature yet into the Stream Deck. Right now, I'm mostly using it as a. I have to talk directly into the mic. Right now, I'm using it for extra buttons. So right now, it's mostly, I don't actually have the profiles on it right now because it's on the Stream Deck. I usually run it off of the Stream Deck, but because you can't plug in, unfortunately, you cannot plug in the Stream Deck directly into the console and have it work. You have to plug it into a separate PC or computer that is running the companion software, not the Stream Deck software. It has to run the companion software because that's the production one and it's in beta, so it's a little bit unstable, but it works and a lot of people use it for that. And so you can install a Camsys profile and an OSC profile. I always use the OSC mostly, but if you want to control specific, like you can control page turning or going to different pages off of the Stream Deck. I do have it here in front of me right now. It's a Stream Deck XL, very nice. I do kind of wish the buttons were a little bit less bad. Like, they're not bad, they just feel weird. Very mushy keys. But yes, I do run. Sorry, I'm responding to a post on a question on Facebook. Yes, I do. Yes, I do indeed. It's sending OSC to the console. I can probably do a better video explanation of that, but for now, whatever. I have to get to working on capture because I have to finish this by tomorrow, and I can't just talk about Camsys. Unfortunately, as much as I would love to talk hours and hours on end about Camsys, I have to do some work on some boring work on capture. So that's what we have in store today. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. Take a little bit of a 1 minute break and go real quick and get a Red Bull as well, because I'm going to be up a while. So be right back in like a minute. My back is killing me. I'm 20. It should not be killing me, but that's what happens when you're working on a couch and a coffee table. Okay, so what I have to do right now, and I'm just gonna double check that OBS is properly doing everything. It is. We're good. What I'm doing right now is we have 25. So we have 25 trusses on each side of this amphitheater, and they have a PR Aqua 480 beam on the top, and that's an IP rated fixture. That's like 45 kilograms, super heavy, but you know, whatever. It's an outdoor venue, we kind of have to use it. I'd rather use that than use my fancy pointies. So we're using those, and they're bright, you know, they're nice. So we're using those, and there's Watch 600 on each tower as well. It was going, before, we were going to have two of them. Sorry if I sound very nasally. I don't know. I think maybe it's the dust or something. Or like I was sick a few weeks ago. Maybe. I don't know. But we have Wash 600s on... one Wash 600 on each tower, because we have 50 towers and we don't have that many washes. We don't have 100 washes, so there's one on each tower. There's also some Source 4s. Not actually Source 4s, but we call them Source 4s, which really annoys me. I wish you would just call them Lecos, because they're not actually... I wish they were ETC Source 4s, but they're like... I think they're Philips Silicon, I think is... Yeah, that's the name. Philips Silicon. I've never heard of that company. I think it's maybe a Philips company, but whatever. They're fine. I wish they were Source 4s, though. We're putting one on, actually, I think it's two on each. Or not two on each. Two every other. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. It's two every other. And this is for frontlining because it's a long throw from here to the stage. And there's no other place to put these lights, unfortunately. So we have to put a lot of lights on these towers. And it's a pain in the ass because there's no elevator to bring these base plates and truss up. We have to bring it up a ramp. And we're loading in tomorrow, so I have to do this real quick. The reason I'm doing what you're seeing right now is right now this is the easiest way I've found of setting this up so it's all the same. Because all of these trusses have to be the same distance apart from each other, and they all have to be the same distance from the edge. They have to be 1.5 meters away from the edge. That's just a number I came up with just to make it nice. And they have, since there's 25 on each side of them, and there's only a limit. I think it's 90 meters on each side of space. Then we have to space that out well. And this is also going to be for it. The plan was to use this for previs a few months ago, because we knew we do this show every year. We know it's a big one, but another bigger show, which surprised me. I didn't think we would have a bigger show than this. Another bigger show took over all of my concentration and time, and I had to focus all on that. So this kind of went by the wayside. I did finish a basic plot maybe a month or two ago, and I was like, done. But then we had to make some changes and make it so that it was 25 on each side instead of 15. So, yeah, whatever. I wish it was, I mean, it's nice that we have more lights now, but it's also like, it takes forever to do these, especially when you get to this point where it starts wrapping around itself, and I have to do this. So these are rigging points here. And basically what I do is I start from 2 meters away from center line, and this is about as close from center line as I could get, because this, for some reason, this infuriates me to no end. Whenever I get a DWG file, an AutoCAD file, it's all, for some reason, I think I've had one where it was kind of close to center, but it was still, like, for some reason what they do in a lot of DWG and AutoCAD files is they design it out like 200 meters away from center line, and you're just like, can you please not do that? And they're all 2D as well. I wish I've gotten one 3D file, which pisses, oh boy, it's so annoying. Just give me a 3D file. I know you have one, This one, luckily, I had a SketchUp file, because last year a bunch of fireworks guys came and they made a SketchUp file. So it could be it's not the best SketchUp file, but it's fine. It works for my purposes. And I kind of wish because this isn't the edge, this is the edge. So I have to ignore this line right here. But, whatever. What's that noise? Is that I think it's my microphone cable hanging. I'm going to open up a Red Bull and there's no monster here. Unfortunately, as many people who watch these know, I love Monster, but there isn't any here. So, rip. Oh boy, Snapchat is going crazy. Yes. Oh, I have to stop saying that. There's a Russian guy coming for, luckily, I can't actually say. There's a Russian guy, a Russian programmer who's coming, and he runs MA. And I have to not say that word. Unless he's chill with it, then it's fine. Because I say it as a joke, but he might say it for real. Get it right? So this is kind of janky. Camsys doesn't have a super great system of doing this kind of thing. I wish it had a better way of doing like amphitheaters and venues that are, circles, because this is how I have to do it. So what I do is I have these measurements, 3.6 meters. That's how far away each truss has to be from the next one, and then 1.5 is how far it should be from the edge. Now this it's not super accurate. It's as accurate as I can get it in the time frame I have right now. And it's pretty much the most accurate I can get it anyway, because this isn't a circle. I don't even know what to call it, but you can see it doesn't go in a circle, even though the actual venue is completely circular. It does little lines like this, straight lines, and then it angles them. I wish, because I know that's how these programs work. I wish it was a circle instead, or at least make it a bit more so you have more of these lines instead of these giant sections, because there's not actually giant sections. It's a perfect circle. It's a very nice venue. Bit of a pain in the ass to do. I wish they had a center point marked out, so we could mark it out I think we'll have to do that on our own. But yep, here we go. This isn't, like I said, this isn't super accurate, but it does the job, and I need this for tomorrow. So it's what I can do in the time I have. Let's see. Copy pasting these and just lining up. So we're on this. This is just a rigging point. I mean, it's not an actual rigging point. I need to put one more. 4, 5, 6. Oh, I lost the count. I'm an idiot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I need 2 more. Oh boy, it's gonna be off the edge. Again, the other side is off the edge because I think I messed up the cut. Oh, I'm an idiot, that's why. When I made the calculations, I took the first, oh man, I don't even remember how I did it the first time with this. But I took the first one, the first file that I made, which had 15 on each side. And I was like, all right, well, there's 6 meters between these. What's that times 15? And I got 90. And was like, okay, divide that by, 25. And then I got this. But it's not super accurate because I didn't take into account the center, this. So it's 2 meters off on the distance between the two, which isn't a super big deal, but it does mean that these trusses are floating. I'm not going to fix it right now. I don't have the time to fix it. And anyways, when we get to the actual venue, we'll just bring this truss to where it's actually supposed to be. And I might just, because at this point, as you saw, that takes a while to do, and I haven't even put the truss in. These are just the points. Luckily, it locks, like the truss is locked to the points, so it's not a super pain in the ass. It's just a little bit of a pain in the ass. I just take this, copy it, bring it over here, and I try to make it as close to the right angle as possible. Because usually these just lock to whatever that, I guess it'll be like this, kind of. They just lock, or not lock, they snap to the center of that rigging position. Which is very useful. Thank you, Capture. Capture's definitely not watching. I'm not a Capture channel, I'm a Camsys channel. Boop, 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 not super interesting stuff. Cracking the knuckles and stretching because my back is. There we go. All right. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to make some more interesting videos. Sorry, I have to stretch every few minutes because, like I said, on a couch, don't want to ruin my back. Here we go. Put that there. Get it perfect because this is going to be used for previs. I actually haven't used the built-in previs on the 500. I tried, but it was super laggy. And I was like, nope. No, thank you. Maybe I was doing something wrong. Maybe it's just not meant to handle a few hundred lights. Yeah, that's one thing. That's one complaint. The previs, guys, come on. That was one of your main features for that. You should make it so that, it runs smoothly with, a million lights. Because otherwise, or here's what you should do. Get the capture component and then just forget about the entire Magic Q visualizer. Don't support it anymore so you can have more time supporting actual, Magic Q. For those who don't know, Capture came out with this thing called the capture component. And it's basically a thing you can implement into your console or whatever you want, right? So it has capture graphics. Like it runs the capture, I'm not going to say graphics engine because it's not a graphics engine. But basically the equivalent of that. It runs that, and so companies like ETC and HOG, I think. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure HOG now uses that for their visualizer. So now it's just a good visualizer that's supported by Ulta, the people who support the fixture library for Camsys. They're the ones who make all the fixtures, the fixture profiles and stuff. Oh, I haven't told you guys this yet. I have, as you can see up here, I no longer run the student version of Capture. I am now on the big boy, the Symphony of this. Am I saying that right? The that I'm running the biggest the biggest version of Capture, the biggest the full license, which was very expensive, but it's no complaints so far. I did have one glitch, one problem, but that turned out to be a problem with my driver, my graphics driver. That was when I first got the Surface Studio. It wasn't handling washes. It was super laggy whenever I turned on my 600 watches. So I emailed Capture and I'm like, have you updated your graphics driver, you dumbass? And I was like, oh, thanks. Yeah, I should do that. So now I do that. Oh, that's an empty Red Bull. Man, I'm so unhealthy. Haha. Funny. Good shit though. Very expensive here. Here we go. Okay, we're good on that. Let's save. It takes a while to save. Compared to other shows, like, I know that seems like it's only a few seconds, but for Capture, usually you save and it instantly saves, right? Like a Word document, it's just done. But here it takes like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. And you're like, wow, that must be a big file. And it is. It is indeed. Totems only. Where's my, there you go, no people ever. So, here we go. Fixture time. Oh, that's going to take forever. Gonna do the washes first. 1 wash per thing on the outside. And what's really great is I can just slide it to the edge of the bar. Because usually I would just do X and Y, XYZ positions. So all of my rigs are in XYZ. Super accurate. So usually for straight truss, I just go, X position 2 meters. I use meters, not feet. So 2 meters away, and or this fixture is 3 meters away. So I usually do all of that so that it's all super, super perfect, symmetrical. But here I can't really do that because it's a circle. So luckily I can just drag the wash to the edge of the pipe, and it just locks there. So you can see I can just go like this, and I can keep going, and it stays there, more or less, which is great. That way I know it's at the end of the pipe. It's not going to be hanging off the edge, and then on the actual show it'll be, it's not like one of the clamps is going to be off the pipe. Oh boy, I've seen some sketchy shit here. Woo boy. OSHA do not have a presence here. I can tell you that much. Luckily the company I work for, we pride ourselves in being very safe and doing things the right way. But other companies, I can't say the same about them. Oh boy, they just care about speed, and yeah. Saw a guy walking on truss that was like 8 meters up in the air with no harness and flip-flops. And was like, oh boy, dude, if you fall, you're not gonna have a good time. Oh boy. And we have a professional rigger who's very good at his job, and we're very concerned about safety to make sure everything's safe and nothing breaks or falls down. So our video walls are very good. They're very sturdy. You should have seen our last one. It was 30 meters across. The counterweights we use for them, oh boy, sexy stuff for a rigger. They look very good. But I've seen video walls by other companies where they literally just zip tie the video wall to this flimsy ass frame, and there's no counterweight or anything. It's just kind of like, dude, it's not expensive to invest in proper stuff for these. You can put actual counterweights, because there have been video walls that come down, and that's a lot of money, guys. Come on, just use actual clamps and counterweights. Not hard. it's super easy. Like we're one of the smaller production companies in this country, and yet we get a lot of the bigger shows. And it's like, what? So we have to rent a lot of lights. Well, it depends. On much bigger shows, we rent a lot of our lights because at the moment we don't have a high-end, not the company. We don't have a high-end wash fixture or a high-end spot fixture. We have the pointy, which is probably, it can do for a high-end beam, to be a high-end beam fixture. But like, we don't have a spot fixture yet. We're getting one. We're getting a bunch of mega points and a bunch of spiders, which will fill that row up very nicely. I wanted some BMFLs because, the BMFL, you can't, like, I think I just have to say that, it's the BMFL. But mega points will work too, and I'm happy about that. I'm very happy about the BMFL, or the mega points. But I will, this next big show, since we were going to do mega points for it, but then it turns out, because Roby's actually making these lights for us, it turns out there's a 30-day production period for them. So this show's in less than 30 days. So we're like, oh, great, we have to do the BMFL. Oh, great. What a shitty light. What a terrible light the BMFL is. No one likes that light. Just checking the chat. No one said anything. I'm kidding. I know there's not a big audience for these kinds of videos. Let's just make sure the everything's working fine on that end before I continue. Nope, not that. I just want to go live, make sure everything's working fine. Everything is indeed working fine. Now let's go to this view. Oh, I love this view. It's so nice. I think I've got pointies here that are facing the wrong way. 20 pointies on this show. Not a lot. But the reason there's not a lot. That is the prayer. If you can hear that in the background, that's prayers. If you ever seen it in movies where they, like in Arabic countries, they yell really loudly at certain times, that's 100% true. It's kind of annoying. And they do it they don't seem to be very consistent about the times. They do it a few times a day. I don't mind, but one time I was coming back from a setup at 4 a.m. and they were doing it, and it's like, dude, who's gonna wake up at 4 a.m. to go to a church for 15 minutes? Apparently, a lot of people. Well, a few people, not many, because people have to go to work. It wasn't even like a weekend day, because there's no weekend, it's only one day here. It was the middle of the week. I'm like, what? What now? You're gonna do what? Luckily, my apartment's on like the other side, away from the mosque, so I don't have to deal with that. I think I'm mostly done on this. I just have to do we run, something I didn't know was in this industry, we run fiber for our DMX and our ArtNet. We won fiber. We run fiber lines. When we can't do long cat, I think we use cat 6 or cat 5. If we have a long run and it's longer than 100 meters, then we use fiber instead of cat 5, because the fiber will run much longer distances. So we have Proplex, which is fantastic. I can manage it from the surface if it's connected to the same network. But we have 6 of these little nodes that have 4 DMX universes on them, and you can configure them from the surface, or you can configure it. There's a little like LCD screen, so you can configure it on the actual unit itself. It's much easier in my experience to just configure it from the surface, from FOH, because it's super easy. But you can also do RDM with it. I haven't been able to use RDM on any of our shows yet because our truss splitters are not RDM compatible. They're pretty old, so they were invented before the days of ArtNet and DMX. No, they're pretty old. There's some Avalites truss splitters that we used to split up, so it's easier for cable management. They don't do RDM, so we're working on that. I do really want to test out how that works and how the workflow works with RDM, because that if we can just auto patch everything, that would save us so much time. Like, then we don't have our truss on the ground and we're patching it. Then we can just stand it up in the air and see it, and leave space for the audio guys or the video guys to do stuff. So we're working on that, but right now it's probably going to be next season. I say season, because of the heat, there's not a lot of shows that happen during the summer here. Marshmallow came last year, which was cool. I wasn't there for that, unfortunately. Is he asking? So do you have a PC Mac Pi in between? I guess you're using a companion. I've tried to do PCing to use it as programming keys. Okay, I'm just gonna get this guy to come into the stream to explain. Just because I'm not great at explaining stuff in text. I'm much better at explaining it in words. Even then, I'm kind of bad at explaining it in words. So what else do we need? We've got 50 there. We're bringing 80. We need 30. 30 of these bad boys. They're not bad boys. I wish they were. Although those would be. I'm pretty sure bad boys are like stupid heavy, aren't they? Something I didn't know until I was reading some a forum. I think. Yeah, I was reading a forum on the Capture website, and I was like, oh, very interesting. Huh. Is these? I was always confused by what these little power arrows are. It's like, what are those? Those are useless. They're annoying. They clog. But apparently, it shows you where the power outlet on the fixture is. That is useful. Now that I know what it does, it's like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. Now I know how to orient these fixtures so they're pointing the right way. That's not the right light, I don't think. Actually, it might be. Is it the aqua? Yeah, it is the aqua. We're good. I need 30 down here. So we've got, let's do 20. Oh boy, look at that. Sorry for all the clicking around. That's my mouse. My Razer, what's it called? Death Adder Elite. Really great mouse. Highly recommend. I also bought a, what's it called? The Firefly, which is a, it's a bit ridiculous, but it is a mouse mat, a hard mouse mat that has RGB LEDs embedded into it. At first I bought it as a joke, kind of like, this is, RGB everything. But now I'm never going back. It's so nice to work on. Like, it's so incredibly accurate. It's really changed. It's changed me. Whenever Dudesky comes in, I need to. What's his name? Eric? Yeah. Whenever Eric comes in, I'll have to explain my OSC, my Stream Deck setup. It's pretty reliable, honestly. I have had a few. Well, there we go. Now I'm in front of the microphone. I don't have a microphone arm yet, so that's why you can hear me going like between. I'm really, really sorry about that, by the way. Usually I have my old microphone was the blue Snowball, and I had a little arm for that with a pop mic or pop filter on it. But now I've upgraded to the blue Yeti Black Edition, I think is what it's called. Very nice microphone. But it's so heavy it doesn't work on my... and I'm pretty sure it also doesn't have a 1/4 inch. Oh, it does. It does have a little adapter on the bottom. But it's so heavy it doesn't work on my current arm. So it's just on my desk right now. So I'm sorry if my voice sounds distant, like I'm on the other side of the room. I'm not. Because I have to kind of... I can't... If I slouch down, it starts getting... Like, my back will start to get sore. So I have to keep my back straight, which means my voice can't be close to the microphone because my microphone's on the desk. Or it's not a desk, it's a coffee table, but you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right now this is just random because it needs to be. I just need to get the right numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 2 more. Perfect. Yeah, sorry for the clicks. My microphone's pretty close to my mouse right now. But this mouse is pretty good. I really like it. I have found, though, I'm looking for some Bluetooth stuff. Oh, that's not where it's supposed to look. There you go, over here. I'm looking for some Bluetooth mechanical stuff, because right now I'm using my personal, for the Surface Studio and all that good stuff. I am using my personal, let's just make sure this is on the right thing. Yeah, I'm using my personal keyboard and my personal, can I edit this? Sorry, I'm getting distracted a little bit. I'm using my personal keyboard and my personal mouse and my personal mouse mat and my personal USB hub and all that for the Surface Studio, which is a company computer. My new lighting computer for the company, which is really great. I kind of wish it was. I kind of, sort of, a little bit regret it, not because it's a bad product, but because I'm a little worried with road use that it will get broken, because it's not meant for road use. It's not meant to be on the road, and it's not meant to be roughed up, because it's kind of like a artsy, you know, minimalist product. But the build quality is really good, so, you know, whatever. And we have it now, and we can't return it anymore, so, yeah. And it's really good. It's just I'm a little worried it'll break, and I don't know what it will do if it breaks, because, you know, it's kind of getting old. Okay, here we go. Oh, God, I don't even know where to start. Where on earth? Okay, I guess I should get the length of this pipe. 40 meters, 20 meters, 20 meters. Bum, bum, bum. I just need to get the right distance so I can make these symmetrical. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But it's always nice to have 1.3. I'm just going to get a distance here and make it 1.3. Is that birds in the background? Well, it's definitely my laptop in the background. Okay, this is going to be like right here. Oh boy. I think this might be a bit lofty. Yeah. That might be a bit, let's do 1.1 from thing to thing, from light to light. Has to be here, and I'm just gonna move this over here. Was I saying something? Probably. Once, I forgot his name again. Dudeski from Facebook, Eric, gets on. I will explain the OSC setup that I have for the Stream Deck and Companion, all that good stuff, the good quality stuff with the Stream Deck. It's pretty good. I thought it'd be much more complicated than it was. Same thing with networking. When I first got here, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to learn networking. Oh, I'm never gonna learn it. They're gonna fire me, and I'm never gonna. Yeah, all that good stuff, you know. And then it turns out it's super simple. You literally just plug, because I thought it'd be much more complicated. I didn't think it was going to be as simple as literally just plugging in a Cat5 cable from your computer to the console or a switch and just setting up your IP right. Like, it's so simple. I'm not going to do it right now because it might mess with the stream. And I'm not plugged into a Cat5 right now, so yeah. But for all of you out there who are still on PC and are like, oh, I don't know if I can network a computer, a console and a computer up. It sounds complicated. It's not. It's actually really simple. And I do it really quickly now. Because I go from, actually, do I? Sometimes I have to go from an internet connection to direct to the console, so I have to change some IP settings. But it's actually really simple. Let's save this. Just make sure, double check that Eric, I think. So it's super simple networking consoles. I think this is already. You can't see the Camsys yet. Man, that's weird. I can hear stuff because I've got headsets on that is monitoring my microphone. Because what's great about the Yeti is there's a little headphone amp built into the microphone, so you can plug in your headphone and hear the output from the microphone in your headphones. Super great, very useful. But what's weird is I can hear sounds in my headphones from the microphone that I cannot hear in real life. Like I just heard a plate or something fall, and I did not hear that in real life. Spooky. Let's go over here and do this. I have to pass these. I'm not looking forward to that. As you just heard, I'm not looking forward to that because it's. Oh, I totally forgot how he set it up. Shizzle. Damn it. Oh well, I will figure it out. I do know that the top rows go from 1 to 8. Yeah, 1 to 8 universes. And I can just change the addresses, I guess. Or change the universe if I have to. Oh, this is going to be too... it's not going to work. Is it? Nope. So close. 1 meter, I guess. Got crack them knuckles. This is why this is tedious, because I want to use this for previs and then we have to send this to a client, so we want to make it look nice. For anyone who uses Capture, one really cool feature is you can export a presentation, which is an exe file that is super, super, super cool. It exports an exe file that the client can just open on the computer, and it shows them the line. It basically shows them this view, right? But you can't change anything in the project. That's the only thing. You can't add lights or anything. But it shows you, it's basically just a copy of Capture that is sent in a small exe. I think it's pretty small, a small exe file. And it's super useful because then they can look around. They can do some really cool stuff. They can like rotate around and look at things, and it's very cool. I didn't know you could do that because I was always on the student version. But, oh, no, I don't want to clone it. I just want to move it over here. This is a very janky way of doing this. See, this is what I mean. If this was a straight line, if this thing was I'm going to try something actually first. Before I continue that line of thought, I'm going to try something. Put that on 0 and then offset it by 1. There we go. I'm going to try something. And it may not work. If I just make the angle 0. It didn't work. RIP. I thought I would be able to just make the angle 0. Oh, because the diameter, this is messed up. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Is this it? If I make this 0, does it make it a straight? Nope. Doesn't make it right. Anyways. I thought I would be able to straighten this pipe out, just spread out the lights with the actual good spreading out thing that Capture has. That's a bad way of saying it. But apparently not, because you can hit Control A if you have 2 objects and you can align them. Or you can also spread them even. If you have more, if you have 3, you can spread them even. But if I do that, hold on. Hold on. I think I may have just eaten my words there. Again, sorry for the clicking. I will get a proper streaming setup soon, and then I will proceed to not stream because I'm very busy right now. I literally finished a big project yesterday, and then started on this, which we're loading in today, or not today, tomorrow. Split even horizontal. Oh, look at that. It's still not great, but it's better than what I could do. Put it on the pipe. This pipe's not actually gonna be here. It's on the floor. All these lights are on the floor, but this is the easiest way for me to do it, to make it symmetrical and make it look nice. Is to put a pipe that's gonna be the same kind of contour as the actual rig will be, and because then I can just lock it to the pipe. It took me forever to figure out what to set up this pipe to, but here we go, because I don't know the dimensions of this room, of this. Oh, that's one thing I wish Capture had, is proper dimensioning tools, because I always import DWG files from other sources, and I can't properly measure. I mean, I can, but it's super janky. I literally just have to kind of guess. If I want to get the distance from this to this, I literally just have to put a measuring distance and just kind of go, maybe it's 20 meters, I guess, I think it's 20 meters. Is it? Nope, it's more than that, 22 meters. So, see what I mean? I just have to guess. I have to go, oh, maybe 20 meters, 22. Oh, it's probably like 24, I think. Whereas on AutoCAD, you can literally just measure from point to point and then get the actual distance. Capture, if you're listening, which you're not, because this is not a Capture channel, please, that would be a nice feature. Oh man, now I can hear, like, there's people who complain about the sound quality sometimes in my streams, and now I get it. I kind of get it. I'm not going to do anything about it right now because I'm busy. But I get it. I hear your complaints. I'm going to try and do something a bit better. But one thing to note, I'm not an actual live streamer. I am a lighting designer. I'm very busy. I don't have time to, you know. If I was a live streamer, it would obviously be a much better setup. But everything I use is meant for, like, my laptop. I picked it because it was good at lighting design, not streaming. My mouse, I picked it because it was just a nice mouse. Wasn't worried about the acoustics, and yeah. So I apologize for the sound quality. Deal with it. Hopefully the microphone sounds better though. Okay, there we go. I think we're good. That's still a little bit crowded down here, but I think that's the best I'm gonna do. I was going to send this early this morning, but then stuff happened and I was like, nope, not sending it in the morning. There we go. I think that's mostly it. We're gonna put some washes down here, but I don't exactly know how I want to do that yet. I want to see the actual venue. I have done like 3 site visits, unofficial site visits. I just went to the venue and was like, oh cool, look at this, big, because it's an open place. It's an open amphitheater. When it's not being used, you can just visit it and walk around. There's no like gates or anything. Red Bull gives you wings. Oh, it's expensive to get wings, I guess. Patching time. Actually, I have to put source force on everything. Alright. Well, yeah. Oh. See, I can't hear. Oh no, there we go. I can actually hear that. See what I mean? It's random times I get. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Go to fixtures, go to generic, I guess, because it's a generic. Okay, I'm just going to type in generic. Oh, unknown. What's unknown? Well, I don't know. Asymmetric 1K. What's this? Oh, okay. I don't know what that is. I need to go select the source 4 layer. That's for sure. They're both going to be the same zoom. We don't actually, so the person the designer. I'm actually not it's a bit of a thing. I am the designer for this show, but I'm also not. It's a bit of a thing. But one of the guys who's also, I guess you could call him he's kind of like a theatrical lighting designer, you know, but he's also a programmer. So he programs on MA. Anyway, I might just put a source 4 in there. He was like, yeah, I want source 4s at 24 degrees. We don't have any source 4s at 24 degrees specifically. But we do have a bunch of not source 4s, but we have, I love these color source cycs. If you're looking for an LED cyc like these are pretty good. Pretty decent. But you probably would want a lot of them for a bigger venue. I used them in a smaller venue. High school, actually. It was weird. It was very weird seeing these because, like, there was 3 of them in the high school, and the rest of their lights were all shitty, like, $100 LED pars that were garbage. They had, like, the white was blue. When all the RGB values were at 100%, it wasn't white, it was blue. Because the red LED was very underpowered for that light. It didn't color balance it the right way. So this guy wants it at 24 degrees. Anyways, yeah, it was a small venue. These were being used for cyc, and I was like, nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to use it for something else. We're going to use it for wash, because these are the only lights that have decent color in this entire venue. So we're going to use it for wash. And they're the brightest too. They were much brighter than the other lights. I can tell you that. HID. I just want a source 4 zoom. Give me a source 4 zoom. It's probably at the bottom. Yeah. Nailed it. This guy wants... What did he want? Let me try and think. What did he want? Well, let's go over here into this view. I think he wanted... 1 every other, I think, was what he wanted. Or 2 every other. I'm gonna have to open... Okay, I have to go and maybe black out. Yeah, there we go. That's good. I have to black this out because I can't show this right now. Maybe in the future I'll be able to show it once the show's done. But right now, oh, damn it. I named both of them the exact same. Oh, no, there we go. There it is. This file cannot be found. That's right, because I renamed the folder. Yeah, that's a good thing I blacked out. Because I can't, like I said, I cannot say the name. I was thinking that maybe the name is in this other file that I have. Maybe not. Still. The file name kind of gives it away. ETC's profile. Okay, so it's on it's 2 on every other, starting from the second one. That doesn't make sense to anyone watching, but I know what it means. We're good. Now you can see again. Welcome back to the land of the living. We are setting up lights for a show. Oh, and this has got the weird 30-degree directions now, huh? There we go. Beautiful. I think that's my microphone cable just hanging around, that weird noise in the background. I think that's just my microphone. Oh, and that's right. I need to set this to 0 and set this to -2 or something. And just put it right there. Put her there. We have to put G-spots on this too, so I have to put these on the out here, because the G-spot's gonna go right there. I think we have G-spots on every tower. So that'd make 50? I don't know. I don't know yet what we're gonna do for that. Oh, no, it's every other. Why am I being an idiot? Delete those. And then skip that one. And then go on the next one. This guy wants colored gels. That's not weird, that's normal. It's just a bit. It's a bit, yeah, very descriptive. Just gonna double check. Dude, guy from Facebook, I have the answers to your OSC Stream Deck question. I know it's hard, but you can stream. I'm streaming. Subscribe, everyone. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna. I don't think I will ever say that, other than as a joke, because I know this isn't a very serious channel, and it's not a very professional channel either. It's just me occasionally, from time to time, on no schedule whatsoever, kind of feeling like, hey, maybe I should live stream this. Nowadays, I have to ask my boss that, though, because I know that some of these shows may be sensitive about that, which doesn't really make sense. No one cares. No one cares. Like, the only people who will care about some guy on YouTube live streaming a design is other lighting designers. No fans of any band will ever go, oh my god, look at this lighting rig. Oh my god. No one. Ever. Like, seriously, no one cares. So I don't get why they're like, oh no, like that, when Christian Jackson did he uploaded, and it's still up, what a legend. He uploaded a video of him doing lights for Marshmello, and I'm pretty sure he uploaded most of the set. And the Marshmello team reached out to him and were like, hey, can you take that down? And I was kind of like, what? Seriously? That's kind of bullshit. Like, your guy isn't doing anything on stage. You know? Like some DJs do. But I can confirm that he does not do any. He just runs a USB stick. Your rumors are true. I cannot tell my sources. But, yes. And it's like, what? Dude, what? Like, why can't he show? Because he's doing art as well, right? He's doing everything live. He's following the DJ. He's doing just as much. He's doing more than the DJ. And yet, they're like, no, you know, the music. Well, the music's on YouTube for free. The music's also, you know, on Spotify. Like, oh no, but, you know, copyright. And it's just frustrating. It's like, well, this guy's showing his work. Why can't he publicly show his work? He's doing art as well. Why can't he just... Because it was a view from the FOH, right? It wasn't like a super cinematic thing. But luckily, for many people, he re-uploaded it and just named it something different, and they're like, oh, sure, fine, whatever. I just don't think they cared or noticed, so he just re-uploaded it as Bumper Shoot, and it's like, what a legend, dude. Props to you. That's awesome. It's pretty good. Yeah, whatever. Just me complaining and ranting. But a lot of people don't. They're super picky about lighting. Like, especially in corporate, they're like, oh no, we want this. And they're picky, but they don't know what they're picky about. They'll go, oh, can you do a lighting effect when this happens? I'm like, what do you mean, a lighting effect? What? Like, you want everything to go red, or like, oh, it's so annoying when they do that. Or like, and they'll hand you like a script or like a cue list of what happens during the show, and it just says lighting changes, and you're like, what? What do you mean lighting changes? Changes to what? From what? Like, suka. God, it's... And then you've got, you know, bands, like jam bands who are just like, you know what, do your job, have fun, and, you know, we'll just actually, you can film whatever, we don't care. Because, you know, you're putting on a show just as much as we are. Like Fish and all the other jam bands. or Pretty Lights. And Pretty Lights are chill because they upload their sets a lot. A lot of the time they'll just upload their sets, and you're like, thank you. I wanted to appreciate the lighting and the music. Oh, does he not? I'm guessing he doesn't have the link to the stream. And it's like, oh no, where's the live stream? Yep. Yep, the live stream will stay up later. Good luck. Good luck finding the section where the OSC is. I guess I'll do it right now. Let's see, Companion. Let's go find Companion. Do I even... Oh, there it is. There's Companion. This is my old one. I don't even think it has a lot of the stuff. That's doing fine. Launch UI. Launching UI. Alright, I have to switch over to this. Alright, here we go. Here's what you have to do for a Stream Deck. To use a Stream Deck, here's what you gotta do. You gotta go and download a program called the BitFocus Companion. It's on that website that people upload programs to. GitHub. It's on GitHub. Download it from there. I'm pretty sure you have to download it from there. There might be a more official place to download it from, but I downloaded it from GitHub. You download that. What you gotta do is you have to but you have to add instances of whatever you want to do. So for Camsys, you have to install an instance of Magic Q Camsys. So you just go to add category or add manufacturer, and then you can find Camsys, and then add that, and then you set your target IP. So in my case, my target IP is the IP of the console. I've made 2 of them now. I have to delete that. But in my case, there's the IP. That's actually not the IP of the main console, but it doesn't really matter. Actually, it might matter. What's this one at? Oh, same. No, apparently it doesn't matter. You just set the IP of your console. I've set it to 2.9.200.2 because usually my consoles are at 2.9.200.1, so my 500 is at that, and then any extra consoles. So if I have an MQ60 connected to the network, that one is going to be 2.9.200.2. So the 1 to 10 is Lighting consoles, or Camsys consoles at least, and then 2.9.200.50 is is the start of computers that are connected to the network. So in my case, that IP is my Surface, and if I have a laptop connected, it would be 2.9.200.51, etc. But so you just set it up so that this is the right IP, and then there you go. There's your instance. You also for OSC you have to add an OSC instance. So I think it's just in generic, yeah. So you go, generic. Oh yeah, it's super annoying to do this. Generic OSC. There we go. And then you add that. You set the right port, and the target port down's pretty important. The target port. So you in Camsys you go to setup, and then you go to network, and then you set OSC to receive and transmit, or TX and RX. You set your transmit port to 9000 and your receive port to 8000, because this is going to send your OSC stuff from the Stream Deck to the port 8000. So it's sending to 8000. Camsys has to receive on 8000. So you set these up, and then you're good. And then you go to buttons, and then you've got a bunch of pages here that you can do stuff with. So this one's not. Oh man, that's like not at all done. I have a new layout that's a bit more filled out than this. But what you do is, let's say I want to add a record merge button. So I already have one here, but let's say I want to add one. I just set button type, regular button, and then you just do the title here, merge. You can set the background here, merge, color, all that good stuff. And then you go here, add key down, send message, and then you do slash. So in my case, I'm just going to call it merge, and that's what the message is going to be. So then you go over to Camsys here, I don't think it will work because I don't have a console connected up and it's in demo mode. But just to show you, you go over here. You have to set up, in this case, you have to set up a macro to do what you want to do. So I actually already have that right here. Record merge is macro 113, right? So I go over to view automation. Luckily I already have one here, but I'll do it. So you just insert automation, set this to OSC message. Come on, OSC message, there we go. Oh, no, not scheduled, OSC message. And then you set this to whatever message you want to receive. So in this case, it's slash merge. I don't know if it's case sensitive. I assume it is. So I just, make sure I do everything in the right case. So then you set this to run macro or, whatever you want it to do. But usually in my case, I just set it to run macro. So it actually, yes. So, well, for most of my cases, I just set it to run macro. And I just, come on, cancel. This is lagging a little bit. Let's see, let's make sure this isn't. Yeah, we're good. So in this case, I'm running macro 113. I just set that, and there we go. Now, I can't show it because I can't receive OSC on this because it's not, I don't have a console connected. I was going to bring the MQ40 or the MQ60, but then whatever. I didn't think it was going to be necessary because I thought, I'm not going to do any programming. I can just program off PC. Now I kind of regret that, but oh well. So now I can't, like I said, I can't show you, but if you press this button on your Stream Deck, it will send this OSC message over the network. One thing to know is you have to have a laptop or something connected to the console via networking. You just run a Cat5 cable to the console or a switch or whatever, and then you have all your IPs set up and make sure that's all good and well. So this button will now send this message, this OSC message, down the network to whatever is receiving it. In this case, it's my console. It's receiving the message and going, okay, we have this message. What are we going to do now? And this is the function. This is what, when this is received, this is what's going to run. So you run a macro. In this case, it's 113 record merge, which is a macro here. And there you go. So obviously it doesn't work right now. At least, you know what? I'm 99% sure it doesn't work, but I'm also kind of curious to see if it actually works. Let's go to emulator. It's the wrong one. It's the wrong button. Guys, damn it. Oh, because it doesn't know that it's a big boy. Oh well. I can't rescan the USB either because then it's gonna. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna assume it's the normal thing. So, anyways, that's how that setups. If that sets up, if you want to trigger stuff off the execute window, there's a different way of doing that. You have to go to your execute window, and then you go to View Design, and then you highlight whatever grid you want. Now, so far, it's worked with this. I'm not gonna. Sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, whatever. So when I've experimented with it, usually it's kind of weird. But you select this. So in this case, I'm gonna select this row right here. This window. Cell. There you go. Cell. This cell right here. And then you go / enter. And then it gives you this string. And then usually on the console, the string disappears really quickly, so you kind of have to do it all the times. But / there you go. See, it leaves very quickly. /exec to, there you go. See, it's so now if you want to do that, if you want to trigger execute stuff, all you do is so I have to set button, and then let's just call this test because I'm not going to actually do anything. But you have to set OSC here. Oh, come on. There you go. Oh, OSC message, and then you go /exec /2/3, and then you go over here. I'm going to double check that. So // enter /2/3, and you go to macros, automation, and then you add a new one, insert. I know there's an empty one there, but just for demonstration purposes, then you do slash exit. Oh, and all of my keys have activated, of course. I have to do this. Slash exec slash 2 slash 3. Oh, and it made a million slashes. Slash 2 slash 3. There you go. And now this button here, whenever you press it and it receives the automation, it will just trigger that grid. I'm pretty sure you don't have to run it. You don't have to select anything here. You just add the OSC message, and whenever you press that button, this grid, let's see, this grid right here, this button will get selected. So you can use your Stream Deck to what was it? You can use your Stream Deck to trigger stuff off of an execute window. I'm going to set up a system that's more tailored to that. So I'm going to have, because right now you can't go above 10 windows, I think. So if you try to do it on window 11, it won't work. Yeah, as you can see, it won't work on window 11. Never mind, it will work on window 11. We're good. It just you have to make sure you have an item selected. So you can't do it on a blank space. You have to do it on something that does actually have something there. But apparently that works. I thought the limit was 10 windows, but I'll have to test it with the actual Stream Deck and with OSC enabled. But that's pretty cool. So later on, I'm going to have a window, probably window 9, where it's specifically just a grid for the Stream Deck for Showtime. Because I do have this, it's a bit more fleshed out on my Surface. So I have record, merge, record options, and then record, remove, and I have a bunch of layout stuff, and I have some release times and stuff like that, so I can release over time. That's one thing that's been incredibly useful for corporate shows, is releasing over time. So I'll have a playback at full. I just select that playback, hit a time, and then release. And oh, there's holdover playbacks. What? I never use holdover playbacks. That's interesting. But usually, man, when I try to explain things, it just never works. But here we go. So what you can do is you just make sure the playback you want to release is selected, and then you type in the number you want to fade over time in seconds. So in this case, 2 seconds, and then you just hit release, and it will release that playback over 2 seconds. This is especially good for like spotlights and stuff, for frontlining. Very, very useful. Yeah, for corporate stuff, and you can also do it for flash buttons. So I do that a lot. If I hit one of my color buttons and it's the end of the songs, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of stuck holding this flash button, then you can release that flash button over time to go back to a different color, which is very useful. But yeah, so now I'm going to, that's that. That's the BitFocus stuff. So now I'm going to go back to capture so I can look at stuff. Woo! 2 people viewing. Oh my god. Whoa. Oh, Houston, we've got a problem. Alright. Yep. Now this. I need to stretch a bit more and get some food. So I think this will be the end of the live stream. I'm sorry. It's not the 4. It's not 4. Actually, how long has this been going on? 2 hours, 30 minutes. Yeah, usually my streams are much longer, but yeah, I have to end it short here because I need to stretch a bit, walk around, fix my back, and continue working. And I would also like to plug in my Stream Deck because right now I only have 2 USB ports on this laptop. The microphone takes up one of them, the mouse takes up the other. So I can't plug in my Stream Deck. It's just sitting there useless, which is kind of annoying because the Stream Deck is specifically made for streaming and I can't use it for this stream. But, what are you going to do? But yeah, the next part is just boring stuff. It's just addressing and yeah. So hopefully in the future I'll be able to live stream a bit more, but for now, especially this next month in December, I definitely probably won't be able to do it, just because of how busy I'm gonna be. I'm running around doing 2 different venues in December, and it's like crazy stuff, man. Really cool stuff, but also crazy stuff. Hopefully I will have some content in the future about these crazy rigs and these crazy shows. But for now, I think that'll be it for today, because I have to finish this and stop talking and focus on finishing this plot and addressing everything. So for now, and I also have to look at other files that I can't show you, so yeah. For now, thank you for watching, the 2 people who did, and I will see you in the future, maybe. We'll see. Thanks for watching, guys.